Hello everyone. Today we will continue to look at a topic in HCI storage. Today we will focus on hard drives, specifically the content of the hard drives in our drive bay. First, let's look at mechanical hard drives, as hard drives are mainly divided into two types. Here we will first examine mechanical drives. Initially, regarding the types of hard drives, we have actually introduced some aspects before, right? Mainly including what? First, the size, which is actually quite different. First of all, according to some common sizes, for example, the 2.5-inch size, is generally used in laptops or solid-state drives. Enterprise-level solid-state drives are used more often. The 3.5-inch size is mainly for mechanical drives, while the 1.8-inch size primarily appeared in early mobile devices. This is a classification based on size. When it comes to selection, this mainly involves choosing between solid-state drives and mechanical drives. The main advantage here is that in mechanical drives have a larger capacity. A single drive can reach at least 20 TB or more in size. As for solid-state drives, their capacity is relatively smaller, but their performance, particularly in terms of read and write capabilities, is better. Our read and write capabilities can exceed 1 million. This is the main difference between the two. When categorizing them, what is the main point? And the two different types of hard drives have distinct forms of reading and writing. For example, like this. For mechanical drives, their main working mode involves the read-write head accessing data on rapidly spinning disks. They have large capacity and low cost. The downside is that the latency is relatively higher and its shock resistance is quite poor. Since it is a mechanical drive, it contains a read-write head, disks, and some mechanical components. Therefore, if there is a significant vibration, it might cause the read-write head or disks to shift, potentially affecting the data. What about solid-state drives? Relatively speaking, they are faster, because they don't have any mechanical components. They are purely memory or flash memory chips. Actually, they should be called flash memory chips. The advantages are that they have low latency, strong shock resistance, and also consume less power. However, the cost is relatively higher. Simply put, they are more expensive. Additionally, their lifespan is slightly shorter compared to mechanical drives. These are the main differences between the two types of hard drives. Aside from the classification of hard drives, another crucial aspect is the type of interface. The interface type is extremely important. When purchasing hard drives, you must pay attention to the interface type. Besides the classification into mechanical and solid-state drives, this is also very important. For example, with mechanical drives, the commonly used interfaces are generally SATA interfaces, and there are also more SAS interfaces. As for our solid-state drives, they can also use SATA interfaces, as SATA is more universal, The SATA port is relatively more universal, and there are also other protocol interfaces that can be used. Including the PCIe channel can also be used. For solid-state drives, these are the different types of content. This is actually the main difference between our two types of drives, which we have explained in detail here. Next, we will mainly focus on mechanical drives. Let's start by introducing the content of mechanical drives. First, let's look at the overall structure of a mechanical drive. What does it look like? As you can see in this image, it is divided into 6 parts. The control circuit for the stone wall, the read-write stone disk, and the spindle assembly, and finally the interface. There's not much to say about the interface. It simply connects to our system. It connects to our server, allowing it to connect to the server. As for the other parts, first, let's look at the largest disk. As we mentioned earlier, our mechanical drives. The principle is that the magnetic head directly reads and writes data on the high-speed rotating disk surface. That's its principle. So, where's the magnetic head? The magnetic head is over here. This is the magnetic head, and this is our entire disk. When we normally read and write data, it's actually through this magnetic head, through this read-write head. So, what does it do on the disk surface? First of all, what is the main thing? The main thing is to read and write on the high-speed rotating disk surface, right? You need to be aware that if it is in operation, our disk it will rotate in it, and it is mainly covered by magnetic material. Both sides are the two surfaces of the entire magnetic disk, which are actually coated with this magnetic material. The magnetic particles on the disk surface can be polarized to represent a binary information unit. The read-write head is responsible for writing or reading data. How does it work? It stores data by using the magnetic head to change the NS orientation of the extremely fine magnetic particles on the disk surface. This is its main method, DD, for writing and reading data. Like the one on the left. The magnetic head on the left is actually used to drive our read-write head, moving it to the designated position. It's not completely stationary. If it didn't move, how would it read or write data? What is this? This mechanism drives the head to move after reading. Moving to the designated position for reading and writing is very important. As you can see here, in the overall structure, a mechanical disk consists of several mechanical parts. These mechanical parts are all fixed together with screws, which is why, as we mentioned earlier, it is quite sensitive to vibrations. Since we are dealing with purely mechanical parts, if there is a vibration, for instance like with the head arm and the head here, if there is a severe vibration, it might cause the screws to loosen, which could lead to issues. If there are no people, then there aren't any. This could mean that there might be some gaps between our head arm and the platter, which could affect our data reading and writing. This is actually the case with mechanical drives. If they experience some vibration, you might find that if your disk has some systems installed or data stored, you might discover that the data can't be read or the system can't boot up. In such cases, part of the problem might actually be due to some vibrations or connection issues. This is a major issue. Therefore, if you are using a mechanical drive, try to avoid strong vibrations. There's also the spindle here. The spindle is located in this position, right here. Below, there is a motor and bearings. These are mainly used to rotate the disk and move a specific position on the disk to the read or write head. So primarily, the spindle is responsible for driving the disk to rotate, facilitating the movement of the disk. Then over here on the left side, there is a small section, which is our control circuit. It is mainly used to control the speed and movement of the disk, issuing commands to the read or write head. For example, how to read and write is managed by issuing commands from here. Later, we will perform some other read and write operations. This is the overall structure of a mechanical hard drive. In this case, under normal circumstances, when we write data, it is actually the read-write head that changes the polarity of a magnetic region on the disk. When reading, it is the read-write head sensing the magnetic changes. It means that the magnetic changes in the disk are sensed, and then converted into electrical signals to read the data. This is the effect. Here, you can actually see what this resembles. Doesn't the disk with the read-write head look a lot like an old-fashioned record player? This is equivalent to the disk being like a record, right? The read-write head is like the needle, and the spindle, which drives the disk to rotate, allows the head to read data on the tracks. It's actually quite similar to the style of a record player. The main point to note is to avoid vibrations during operation. If there is vibration while it's running, it might cause the read-write head to hit the disk, leading to scratches, damage, and data loss. After shutting down, vibrations aren't as serious, but if vibrations occur while it's running, it can be a significant problem. Especially in situations like if you encounter some unexpected events, such as an earthquake. In the case of an earthquake, solid-state drives generally aren't affected. If the earthquake's tremors are quite strong, it might cause some mechanical drives to malfunction, which is normal. Additionally, high-speed, high RPM drives need to be paired with fans for cooling, so that's something to be mindful of. Generally, servers have multiple fans and redundancy, so under normal circumstances, there shouldn't be any major issues. Okay, so this is the overall structure of a mechanical hard drive. If anyone wants to learn about Huawei certification technology or obtain Huawei exam question banks, please send me a private message, or you can leave a comment below the video for technical exchanges. Alright, today we